What's up? I'm back. I'm here. Welcome back to another video. Oh, it's been a little while. It has been. As you guys know, my full-time job is filmmaking and photography, and I've been so busy with a couple of projects that you can check out on my Instagram if you want to see them, that I haven't been able to be on YouTube. However, I am back, and as you can see, we are here comparing the V60 and the Aeropress with a delicious coffee by Sweet Bloom, which we are going to be tasting today. I was hoping that would work. I have already ground out the necessary amounts that I have needed to grind, because it's always really annoying when I have to do that during the video. I've ground out 47 grams here total. I'm going to be doing 30 to 500 on the V60 and 17 to 272, both a 1:16 ratio. This one's a little closer to a 1:17 ratio, and we're going to compare them. Now, comparison is really important. If you're going to learn anything about coffee or be able to know the differences between Ethiopian or Guatemalan or anything like that, then you're going to need to compare coffees. It's really hard to understand the nuances of specialty coffee if you're not comparing them side by side, because if I were to drink this today and this tomorrow, I don't think I'd remember well enough what that tastes like to know the differences in this one, especially when we're brewing a similar coffee. So, with that in mind, I'm going to be brewing the V60 first today. So, here we go. You guys have seen this before. If you don't know exactly how to do this, I'm not going to explain it too in depth. I do have videos for that on my channel if you want to see them. Grab my paper filter, and then, as usual, I'm going to wet down the filter and make sure I get rid of any of the coffee taste. This morning I brewed a V60 and I forgot to wet down the filter, and I was like, I won't notice, and I actually noticed a lot, and I was like, whoa, I don't want to do that. So, this is my first time actually trying this coffee. As you guys know, I really love Two Rivers coffee. However, they have merged with this company, and it is incredible. I've always loved Sweet Bloom as well. Two Rivers a little more, obviously, but this is going to be an amazing merge, and I'm excited to try it out, get to show it with you guys. Anyways, when I first ground this coffee, it literally smells like I don't remember the name of the candy, Butterfinger, Butterscotch. Is Butterfinger Butterscotch? I don't know. It smells like one of those two things. I'm not sure which one of those, but it was like straight up a candy bar. I'm pretty excited to test this one out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get 30 grams inside of my V60 here, and all right, that's 30 grams. That should be the remaining 17 for the Aeropress. And what I'm gonna do is just flatten it out a little bit, and then as per some stuff that I've been learning recently, I'm gonna create a little bit of a divot in here for the blooming process. Now, blooming, I typically try to do double the amount of water in coffee, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to start my timer, pour this in. If we have 30 grams of coffee, which we do, then we're going to brew all the way up to 60 grams of water. Well, not brew, bloom up to 60 grams. Once we hit that, I've been doing a little bit longer of bloom times recently. Okay, rolling up on 30 seconds here, and I'm going to continue the brew. Boing, and now we're gonna go all the way up to 500 here. Now, I have been watching some James Hoffmann tutorials. I don't know if you guys have watched James Hoffmann tutorials. They're pretty amazing. They're pretty sciencey. So I've been trying to incorporate some of his methods, the ones that I like, the ones that I've found work for me as well. One of those is stirring at like a halfway point, just a little bit of a stir. Halfway point, 300 grams. I'm gonna grab a little spoon. And I'm going to stir just to agitate a little bit. My goal is to get this all to come down together, the whole slurry to come down together. So, here we go. I'm going to finish this off, pouring back up all the way to 500. I want to make sure that there's no grounds on the walls as the V60 starts to drain. So one of the ways I'm going to do that is just swish the coffee a little bit as it goes down. A method I learned from James Hoffmann as well that I really, really like. Here we go, pouring up to 500, boom. Okay, I'm gonna give it another quick stir here at the top, agitate it a little bit, and what do you wanna be careful to do when you're stirring? Don't create a whirlpool. A whirlpool, if you notice, you ever run around in a hot tub with your friends and see if you can make like a freaking drain? Well, same concept. All the grounds are gonna pull in together, and you're gonna get an uneven extraction. So, I'm going to swish it just a little bit to kind of create a little splash on the walls and get all those grounds to kind of settle down evenly. And then we're just gonna stare at it. And another interesting thing about coffee is the more that you stare at it with intent, the better it tastes, which is amazing. So if you just really like laser in there, don't do that. That was a dumb idea. All right, getting everything off the walls here as it drains. And we're pretty much nailing brew time. We're rolling up on 2 minutes 45 seconds here. and we're just about the bottom of the draining process. Go little coffee, survive. Alright, so this is the V60 Complete. I'm gonna go ahead and pour that into a container that I have here just to keep it hot. The key thing with coffee is as it cools down, the flavor profile is gonna become more apparent. If you've ever had like gas station coffee, you get in the car and you're sipping in, you've covered it all with cream and sugar and it tastes okay, and then like 30 minutes later it cools down and you're like, whoa! That's the same concept, because as things cool past a certain temperature, then you're able to taste them a lot better. And it's another reason some coffee shops call things dead shots. If the shot sits too long, they're like, it's a dead shot. More likely is that you let it sit too long and your espresso doesn't last that long. Alright, next up we have the Aeropress. Aeropress I have not done in a little while, so I'm a little rusty. You know how it be. So I'm gonna find something to brew into here. I'm gonna brew into this matte white cup because I usually brew into this cup. Alright.
Nice.
Delicious. This is going to be a pretty interesting comparison because we have a full immersion method on the Aeropress side and we've got a pour over on the V60 side. I'm assuming that the Aeropress is going to have more of a full-bodied, almost French press, but without the sediment of a French press. And this one is going to be a lot of a cleaner, clearer brew. So we're going to kind of see, I think the biggest differences are going to be in mouthfeel. I don't know how it's going to vary in taste, but I think the big change is going to be in the mouthfeel. So we're going to give it a shot here. I'm going to wet down the Aeropress filter right over the cup, as well as heat the cup. I almost said vessel, but I felt too fancy saying vessel, but I would say vessel if I was, I don't know, not here. This is all good to go. I'm going to grab my Aeropress here. Alright, put this here, and now I'm going to get the coffee in the Aeropress. That's a great idea. Alright, so let's see here. Ba-bing, 17 grams, dong. Alright, nailed it. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna even out the grounds here a little bit. And back to the blooming process. Okay, so we have 17 grams of coffee, which means I'm gonna do a 34 gram bloom, and still gonna aim for around the 30-second mark on the bloom time. Just gonna kind of keep an eye on it and see if I think that it's still releasing enough gas to warrant a longer bloom. So here we go, starting the timer, and we're gonna go right up to 34 grams, right around there. 34 grams, taking a look here. Bloomin' coffee. It's been a little while since I've done Aeropress. I don't do Aeropress that often, mostly just because I don't. Alright, approaching 30 seconds here, and we're gonna finish this pour. I'm gonna go all the way up to 272 grams. Again, that's gonna be a 1 to 16 ratio on the full coffee here. See, I like to just spin the Aeropress because otherwise I feel like I saturate some grounds and don't hit some of the walls. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, keeping an eye on my weight as I pour up this. Not my personal weight, but the weight of the coffee, clearly. Okay, 69, 72. All right, close enough. All right, now I'm going to take this off the scale. And I'm going to give this just a little bit of time here. I'm going to go to about 1:15 since I gave it a longer bloom. And then I'm going to press. For about a 30-second press is what I'm aiming for. So I'm starting at 1:15, hoping to end around 1:45 here, and I'm going a little bit too quick. It can be kind of hard to gauge. What you can do is take 30 seconds, divide by 4, and then multiply that by 7 to get, I'm just kidding, just don't do anything like that. Just press and try and count to 30. There's gonna be a little bit of a hiss as I get to the end. That's when you stop. That's the end there, because I don't want to extract too much on that ending process. Okay. Dang it, I almost sneezed, and I didn't. Now I feel horrible. Body, please let the sneeze out. Oh my gosh. Ah, my eyeballs. Alright, here I am. I have the 2 different coffees completed. Why are they in different cups, Sterling? Well, because I broke my other ovalware glass when I was dropping an ice cube in it. I was like, boom, and then it broke. But these cups are by Ovalware, because I know you guys are going to ask. I've already linked these ones before. These ones by Ovalware, amazing, new favorite cups. I've been using them for a while now. Unsponsored, but I do love the cups. Anyway, so this is the Aeropress, and I'm going to give this one a taste first. Honestly, I feel like I might have a hard time comparing these two because the coffee is just, it's so good in and of itself. To me, this one is a little bit lighter on the body than I had expected. Which is interesting, and I lose that little bit of butterscotch, but I get a lot more of like a maple flavor out of this one, and I'm interested to see how this one's going to compare respectively. So this is the V60 compared to the Aeropress. Whoa. Whoa, okay, that's actually like night and day, and I heavy lead on this one. This one, for some reason, has maintained that butterscotch flavor, and I lost it in this one, and I'm not sure why. They're about the same brew temperature. They're running at about, what are we running right now? This one we're chilling right around 140 degrees, so we're running on the cool side slightly, to me anyways, and this one, we're right in the same area. Okay, we're at 130, 140 degrees for both of these. Great drinking temperatures. So there's no variance in temperature. That is so good. This is a new coffee, it's the first time I've tried it. But I noticed that I've lost quite a bit of that butterscotch note that I told you guys before in this one, and when I drank this one after this one, it came back strong. However, switching from this one to this one, I don't know, what is that? What is that? Now, if you guys are wondering why I'm slurping, it's really important when you're tasting to get a little bit of air in with the coffee and make sure you splash it around your whole palate. The aroma of something has a lot to do with the flavor, so it's important that we take in air with it. And that's why we see the invention of things like cupping spoons, where you can taste the coffee, make sure you get enough air in with it, make sure you spread it enough across all the palates of your mouth. If you guys have ever seen those charts where it shows like a tongue and it's like sweet, salty, sour, blah, blah, blah. Well, the point of the coffee tasting is we're trying to get it everywhere. We don't want to launch it onto the sweet side and be like, oh, this is a sweet coffee, or launch it onto the sour side and those kind of things. So we want to intake with air, spread it all the way around, and if you notice when you do that, you're going to lower the temperature as well, so you can drink at a higher temperature. You're going to splash it around, you're going to get enough air, and it's going to give you a full picture as to what the coffee tastes like instead of just a minor one. So, not something you want to do in public necessarily, but for the purpose of really tasting, it comes in handy. So, I don't know. You know what? This kind of confirms my thing. I wasn't really sure why I liked V60 more, but I feel like for some reason I've lost a little bit of flavor on the Aeropress. And I'm trying to think of what that could be and why that's the case. I don't know if it has to do with the pressure, that small amount of pressure you get from an Aeropress. This one is like, to me, like night and day better. This one ended up being about 2 minutes 45, and this one total brew time was about 1 minute 45. So I wonder if that little bit longer of extraction that I got out of the V60 is what's giving me those notes back that I missed. And if I look at the bag here, the tasting notes that it has on here is maple, mandarin, and Fuji apple. So I don't know where I got butterscotch, but I'm tasting heavy butterscotch. Woo! Okay, so that's interesting. Do I taste Fuji apple? No. I don't taste, ooh. Nope, I don't taste Fuji apple. I said I taste a literal butterscotch, butterfinger, whatever you call that. I think I want to try out a couple other methods. I think I want to brew in the forest or something in Colorado. So I'm kind of leaning into this coffee stuff here. There's plenty of you that are watching that are coffee experts, and you guys leave feedback all the time. I love that. Sometimes you guys give me tips about the Aeropress, pressure, that kind of things. I'm totally open to learning anything out there. If you guys have anything to say about that, then please do leave a comment. Let me know which one you like more. And if you guys want this coffee to taste it for yourself, I'm gonna see if I can link it for you guys so you can taste it. Maybe what you can do is do the same thing. I can smell the beans from here. They smell so amazing. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you do want to follow more of my video and photo work, I do photos of coffee, I do videos of athletic apparel. Check out my Instagram. It is fall time. It is, ooh, that even makes more sense. It's fall, and the Augusto Castillo is ready for you to be tasting it. All right. Oh yeah, guess what? Shot this video in 4K. You know why? So I can do this. Ba, 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 ba. I can crop in, and I don't really lose that much resolution. I took the time to